Hello everyone and welcome to CES 2025. We're here at the Asus booth looking at something pretty special, the brand new GPUs from NVIDIA, the 50 series. So we've got 5090, 5080, 5070 Ti and kind of 5070 in front of us. I'll explain as we go through. But this being Asus, obviously there's going to be a lot of cards on offer. They're going to be very popular. And interestingly enough, we're going to start off by saying that the Strix range is still here, but it's been modified and there's now something even better than Strix. And Strix cards are already pretty expensive and we don't have firm pricing information on these yet. So let's just say 50 series isn't going to be cheap and the Astral range, as we now have, isn't going to be cheap either. And it comes in a couple of flavors actually. So this is the 5090 Astral and this is their all-in-one edition. So as you can see, it comes with a 360 rad, very chunky. This is actually a fair bit chunkier than your standard all-in-one that you see on like a water cooler for a CPU. So, I mean, I guess that is to be expected, but the fact that this is going to be an overclockable card. But interestingly, if I navigate around the top, you'll see that we do only have one of the 600 pin connections on the top. So whilst you are going to be overclocking this, I don't think you're going to be doing anything too crazy because obviously you are going to be limited to what, about 675 watts from PCI Gen 5 and then the connector itself. So there will definitely be extra FPS in there, but how much kind of remains to be seen really. You'd be surprised as well, depends on the exact case. Some of the configurations, you'll probably find that you actually be able to fit this as opposed to like a really large GPU inside because this obviously has a 360 rad, so you can park this at the top or at the front of your chassis, and then this will fit in and it's not as long as some of the other cards. But yes, this is going to take up quite a lot of space, no doubt about that. But the Astral range looks absolutely fantastic and the materials that they've used as well, really nice and solid. You're not really going to be kind of like touching your graphics cards, hopefully, too often. But if you do, you're going to be very impressed with the build quality and the materials. As I say, this one is going to be very expensive. So kind of watch this space really, because I think it's safe to assume that we're probably going to be getting, I don't want to say $2,500, but it's certainly going to be nearer $2,500 than $2,000, right? So it's going to be a lot. We now insert the bit where we talk about the Astral card that Linus has stolen at the moment. But as I say, this is the Air version of this, and kind of think of it like a Strix card, but just slightly better build quality. And they've actually added an extra fan on this as well. So you've got a total of 4 fans. You've got the 3 on the front, and then around the back you have another one that's going to help to exhaust the air. I'm not entirely sure this is going to be necessary, but again, higher TDP if you do want to overclock it. You don't have the fancy water cooling system they have on the Astral All-in-One, so something to consider. It's a big card. I don't think it's as big as some of us expected, but when you think how big the 5090 Founders Edition is, it's actually a fair bit bigger than that. And interestingly as well, the PCB on the cards seem to be bigger than what you'll get on the Founders. I wasn't sure if that was going to be exclusive to Founders or on all of the cards, but actually it does seem that the PCB and the new kind of like 3D layout seems to be at least semi-exclusive anyway to what you find on the Founders Edition. But we get more information about that and obviously update you on the coming weeks and months and things. Get subscribed, by the way, if you're not already, for full reviews, full builds for these as soon as they come in. There's actually another 5090 that we have here, and I'd say that this is my favorite. This is the new TUF edition, and it doesn't look crazy different to the previous generation, and the design language is very similar. It seems to be pretty much the same size, but you've now got a few extra accents and things on them. They've kind of changed the design. They say it's reinforced as well. You've got dust resistance, all of these things. How much that actually means for a gaming PC, probably not that much in the real world, but it's a nice design. You've obviously got the pass-through here. This is where you would have that extra fan on the Astral, but we don't here. Again, I don't really think this is particularly necessary, especially if you're going for a 5080. The thermals that we had before were fantastic, really. And obviously, the more overbuilt a graphics card gets, the more expensive it gets. But again, we don't actually know pricing on these. Availability, they say all of these should be available when the NVIDIA cards launch. So you're not going to have to wait too long for those. Again, single 600 pin connection on this. You do have your classic performance and quiet mode slider on this. How many people actually ever use the quiet mode slider? Let us know in the comments below. Did you actually ever enable this? It's great to have dual BIOS in case something went wrong, but I don't think many people are actually going to be using that. But as I say, it's a good feature. But yes, that's the TUF edition of the 4090. And then in front of us, we now have a Strix card. So I don't know why there wasn't a Strix 5080, 5090 here. I imagine that this is the smaller version because this is the 5070, 5070 Ti. And I've got to admit, for me, this is a bit of a low point of this tour because this feels pretty plasticky. I mean, it's Strix. It's Strix. It's supposed to be like it was formerly the best of the best. But personally, I think if you're paying a big premium and you're getting that, it doesn't really inspire confidence, does it? I also don't really like the translucent design that you have on here. I mean, all of the silver accents, great. I think they look really nice. Yeah, can't say I'm a huge fan of that, but to be fair, most people will see this aspect of the card, and I think that is kind of a lot more premium anyway. I absolutely love this, and I think more people should do it, where we do actually have some fan headers on this graphics card as well. And the good thing about this is that it means if you don't want to like muck around with configuring extra fans and things really, you can just plug one of your case fans, actually usually on the front, into these, and then the graphics card will control them. So unlike normally where you have to rely on your CPU temperatures to bring everything up, or have like the same brands of graphics cards so they can talk to the motherboard, here you can actually just plug them into here, and then your fans will ramp up when your GPU gets warm rather than your CPU, which does make a whole bunch of sense. We also have that 600 watt power connection as well. It has actually been revised this time as well, so it's going to be a little bit safer. It's going to be harder essentially for your connection to kind of be in slightly and then still powered, and obviously lead to failures. So glad that that's been cleared up as much as it can be really. I mean, in terms of sizing, there's not like a crazy difference actually. I kind of expected that the cards would not be smaller than before, but certainly would be the same size. But with this Strix, it certainly seems that the difference between the 5080 and the 5070 isn't crazy. And remember that the 5090 Founders Edition is actually rated for like small form factor builds. So if you are going to go for something like really high end, please do a lot of research before you buy it, just to make sure it will, again, fit inside your chassis. Sound like a broken record now. Oh, and actually, as if by magic, we do have the Astral GPU that's arrived in my hands. I've got some very worried like faces around me going, surely not, he's not throwing it. It's not even out yet and he's throwing it around. Maybe I should be a little bit more careful. But yes, this is the Astral air-cooled card, and I think this looks absolutely fantastic. Again, it's going to be very expensive. Let's be honest, to say it's not for everyone would be a massive understatement, but it's a really good looking graphics card, and the party trick is around the back here where we do have this extra fan that obviously helps to exhaust air. I kind of wish that they did have extra power on this. It's difficult when you don't know how well they are going to overclock, but it does seem that if you're going to invest this much in a graphics card, then obviously you're going to want to overclock. So I hope you're not going to be limited by power anyway. But you can see just how thick that thing is. It's absolutely gigantic. One thing as well that I should mention with all of these cards is that we do actually get HDMI 2.1B, and also brand new, we do have DisplayPort 2.1B, and the B not only signifies that obviously we get the full bandwidth, but then also that you can use cables longer than 1 meter, because this was actually something that I didn't even know about, because there weren't many monitors and there weren't many graphics cards that had DisplayPort 2.1, but you were kind of limited to very short cables. Fantastic I/O on this. You should be good for 4K, 480 hertz, 8K, 120 hertz, so very, very future-proof, the complete opposite really to what we had on the previous generation. But yeah, this is the Astral, very heavy. Again, make sure you have a huge case in order to fit this in. And then last, but certainly not least, we do have the baby of the group, this being the Prime. And I think I really like this one. The favorite is the Astral, because it does like just look the best. But in terms of practically what I think my favorite is, it's got to be the Prime really, because most people are going to be looking at this. You can see it's a triple fan card. It's thick, but it's only just thicker than 2 slots, so pretty standard really. If you have something like a Corsair 4000D, this is going to fit inside. The other cards, a little bit more doubtful. But it's kind of, I don't want to say cheap and cheerful, because there's still a lot of money, but if you're a graphics card company and you're putting like a cooling system on your card, then yes, it is a little bit more cheap and cheerful. You don't have RGB, but it just has everything really that you'd need on it. I mean, it's plasticky, but again, it's fine. You don't touch your graphics card, you just put it inside your system, right? So hopefully the cooling on this is going to be sufficient, but most of this is actually cooler really. There is obviously a fair bit of PCB, again, not as small as you find on the Founders Edition, but yeah, it pretty much does everything that you'll need, and especially with this, which is the 5070 Ti, I don't think there is going to be a Founders Edition of this, so you probably are going to be considering something like the Prime even more. But yes, that has been our short and sweet visit to the Asus booth. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you make of the Astral cards? Do you think that if you've got huge wallets, this is going to be worth it, or are you going to be looking just to save as much money as possible, maybe keep what you have, or go for something a little bit smaller and a little bit more affordable? Let us know down in the comment section below, but smash the like button if you enjoyed this, get yourself subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one.